So I did a video with everything you need to know about the multiplayer that will be in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. This time round we're taking a look at the new features. The first thing I want to cover very quickly is split screen. I've had a few comments asking if there's going to be split screen, and I've done a bit of research. The only thing I could find was a video, I'll link it in the description. It was 129, I think that's the correct number. Rapid fire questions about the game. One of the developers was asked if there's going to be split screen. The answer was yes, but they don't know what sections of the game it will be for. So there will be split screen. Don't know if it's like local multiplayer and things like that. That's something we're going to have to wait and see. I spoke about this a little bit before, but I would like to cover it again because I feel it falls into this video as well. But I won't go into too much depth, just the things that I'm most excited for. That is the gun customization. I've been watching a few videos here and there about it. The best thing for me personally is the fact there's no more pick 10 or pick 12 or whatever the system was. You can design your gun however you want to, as long as you don't have any more than 5 attachments. 5 attachments is going to be the cap. Each gun will feature 30 to 60 different attachments, like sights, barrels, stocks, things like that. And I've also heard that you can pretty much switch guns up. I've seen the AUG that can apparently play as an SMG or an assault rifle. And I watched a video by Jack Frags where he was talking about some of the stuff in the game as well. And apparently there's a shotgun that you can switch some of the things on it and basically turn it into a sniper shotgun. So we're going to have to wait for more info on that, but it definitely sounds cool. I don't know if a sniper shotgun's going to be a bit overkill, maybe overpowered, but there's so much depth in the customization, and I can't wait to jump into the gunsmith and test it all out. Then we have guns and grenades. I actually have a list in front of me of the stuff that I believe this is everything that's been confirmed so far. Not sure if that's from the gameplay reveal or other sources, but on the Games Radar website they tweeted out every gun and grenade we know about, and we're going to go through the list quickly. And what I'd like you guys to do is leave a comment and let me know what gun you personally think is going to be the best. So assault rifles, we have the M13, the FR556, the M4A1, the L86A1, the AK-47, and the Odin. I believe that's how it's pronounced. The SMGs, we have the MP5, the MP7, the AKS-74U, the AUG, so the AUG, and the M13. So the M13 is actually in both lists. I don't know if they're separate guns, but they have the same name on this list. So I'm going to assume that they're separate guns. You've got an M13, AR and SMG. LMGs, there's only 2 on this list. You've got the M91 and the L86A2. Shotguns, you've got the Model 680 and then it just says 725. Marksman rifles, you've got the MK2 and the M14. Snipers, you've got the AX50. Pistols, the M19 and the .50 GS. Then last but not least, you have launchers. We've got the RPG-7. I don't know if it's Pila, it's the PILA. And then the Strela P, if that's how you pronounce that one as well. If I've butchered them names, I apologise. But that's all the guns. And personally, because of my playstyle, the type of player I am, I'm going to say, I don't want to be generic and just say, oh, the M4A1 or the MP5, that SMG's never been beaten and stuff like that. I'm going to say the FR556. The reason I'm saying that is because I've seen footage of it. It is basically the FAMAS. And on Modern Warfare this year, you're going to be able to switch your fire mode. So you'll be able to toggle between, some guns are going to have single fire, full auto, but the FAMAS is going to have single and 3-round burst. I believe it's 3 rounds, but it's going to have single fire and burst. Back in the days of Black Ops 1, I used to play Hardcore Headquarters quite often, and using a 3-round burst is pretty much the same for any game. If you're playing Hardcore, using a 3-round burst is normally a 1-burst kill. So I tend to like those guns, although obviously people have their own preferences, but personally I like guns that can have a 3-round burst, play some Hardcore, especially with Headquarters making a comeback. I think the FAMAS could be a gun that's going to have some value to it and possibly get me a few extra kills. But don't forget to let me know in the comments which one you are going for. Then the grenades. In the tactical side of things, we have the stim, the flash and the stun. And in the lethal side of things, we have frags, semtex, molotovs, throwing knives, proximity mines, and claymores. Out of the list of lethals, probably just because of Modern Warfare 2, I'm going to say claymore. I've always loved putting a claymore down in a spot I know players are going to run in, and it's just funny seeing it pop up in the kill feed that you got a claymore kill. So the FR556 and the claymore, so far, are the things that I'm leaning towards being the best for me to use. But obviously, when the game comes out, it's all going to change. I'm going to try different builds with the guns and stuff, because I'm actually excited to get in the gunsmith, as the customization looks a lot more in-depth than ever seen before in a Call of Duty game. And I just want to clear this up quickly. Credit goes to Prestige's Key for the gameplay. I will leave a link to the video in the description. Then moving on to one of the features that I'm kind of skeptical about is going to be the night mode. I like the look of it so far, but I'm not sure how much of a fun factor there's going to be to it, just because you put your night vision goggles on. Obviously, they've gone for a realistic side of things, so you can't ADS, and you have to hip fire kind of thing with a laser sight. I've always been a fan of laser sights and stuff, but if you've got a little bit of longer range combat, then I don't know how it's going to work with the bullet lead and stuff like that. So I'm kind of needing hands-on with it to have a better opinion, but so far it does look decent. Ground War has always been one of my favourite modes, just because it's got a lot more players in than the standard 6v6 TDM. I believe it used to be 9v9, like 18 players or something. But this year, with Modern Warfare, I think I've heard there's 20v20, I don't know if that's a separate mode, but I've read around a couple of different places and seen that it's going to support 64 players, with Activision hinting that it can be larger scale up to 100, so I'm not entirely sure how many players it's going to be, if there's going to be different variants of Ground War, but 64 players on a Call of Duty map, and some of the gameplay I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a good time. I would say last but definitely not least for this one, but I'm not a big fan of this idea at all. There is a possibility for Battle Royale coming to Modern Warfare at some point next year. There's been hints here and there about it, and I'm just fed up with Battle Royales in general. PUBG started gaining a load of traction, then Fortnite come along, and then you've got Blackout, you've got Apex Legends, then you've got loads of games trying to rip off the genre, all over Steam and stuff, and even Battlefield had a go at it with Firestorm. I just I'm not a massive fan of the game mode. Back in Call of Duty days, I never liked Search and Destroy, because when you die, I like respawning back into the fight. I don't want to sit there for 20 minutes. I know with a Battle Royale you can back out and find another lobby, but a lot of the time, on most of them, you're sitting there for 2 to 3 minutes waiting to go back into another game. I would rather jump into a standard multiplayer match, even something we'll use Ground War as an example. You go in there, you're playing Domination, and you get killed, you respawn, you get killed, you respawn, you pick up a couple of kills, die, respawn. You get to go straight back into the action, instead of having to sit there, search for a game, go into a lobby for a minute where there's kids just shooting their guns and screaming down their headsets. Then you go across the map on a plane, you pick somewhere to land, you loot, you shoot, you die. So that's going to wrap the video up. I hope I haven't rambled for too long. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I will be back when I have some more info about Modern Warfare. So I will see you soon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.